Konnichiwhat.
Konnichiwhat.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, Chute. This is my co-host,
Konnichiwhat.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that. A lot of things have happened this week, James.
It's a little bit weird.
Well, you know, as fine media enjoyers,
A lot of things have happened.
as we are, we went and watched a movie, didn't we?
We watched Hereditary too.
It was an interesting movie.
Is it?
No, it was Sonic 3.
I thought it was interesting.
Now I might have been a little biased. All right, you know, I'll just say it. I'm a little biased because I didn't watch the first Sonic movie or the second Sonic movie, and so I watched Sonic 3 with James, and yeah, it was certainly a movie. It was probably the movie of all time.
It was a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of it was like exactly the same. It's exactly what I expect out of like a kid's movie. Like
Yeah.
when someone says to me like, "Hey man, you want to go watch a kids movie?" That's, I imagine, Sonic 3. That's probably the first thing that pops in my mind is Sonic 3.
It was the most kids movie.
It was the most kids movie.
Good kids movie.
Now there are good kids movies, and there are kids movies, and Sonic 3 is in fact a kids movie. So, you know, maybe I'm just a bit too old, too jaded. I'm not with all the I just don't get all the jokes that they say in the movie, like Konnichiwhat. I'm just not laughing at that kind of stuff anymore, you know?
You don't get it? He's saying Konnichiwa, but it's a what?
I get it. I just don't get why that's in there.
No, you don't get it.
You know?
You don't get it.
That's what I don't get.
Actually, you don't get it.
I understand why he said Konnichiwhat. It's because, you know.
You don't understand. How could you? It's only Mike Ross and Burton the Berry.
Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the movie, there's a scene where they're in a bar. They're in a restaurant. They're in a restaurant in Japan.
Yeah, they're in a little cafe.
Yeah, and they get attacked by like some robots. I don't know what they're called. The egg drones.
The egg. Like it's egg something, egg bots. Something.
Yeah, it's like something like that. And then a dude on a motorcycle comes in and does like the Star-Lord move from Marvel Rivals, where he spins around and shoots all of them down.
He does the Reaper ult.
Yeah, and then Sonic goes Konnichiwhat. And you know, and from that moment on, I knew what kind of comedy was going to be in this movie. And I will say, I don't think there was a single moment in this movie that actually made me laugh. I don't know if it was like I don't know if my humor is just not targeting. It just doesn't target my humor.
You're just a joyless, unhappy husk.
I don't know. It just doesn't target my humor. There's a difference between, like, this movie very obviously tries to make you laugh at some moments, like with the jokes, Konnichiwhat, Eggman dancing, him being like a disgusting slob, which, by the way, I'm not a huge fan of like disgust humor, but that was in there.
Yeah. I think the one moment that I thought was like the funniest was a moment I knew was coming from the trailer, but I think it was a longer shot in the trailer, so I was kind of laughing because I was like, oh, this was funnier in a different way. But it was the fucking push the button thing, where Eggman's dancing with his grandfather.
Yeah.
And then just like randomly, they just like, my finger is on the button. And it cuts to Eggman's grandfather, who's doing like an almost split on the ground while like lifting himself in the air. And it's just, in the trailer, it like holds on it longer, so you get to see it more. But in the movie, it's so quick the way it just cuts to it, and then he says, push the button. And it's a very dumb sequence. It's a really interesting dance sequence. I think visually,
honestly, the dance number was not bad. Like, he had some moves. It wasn't. He had some moves.
Now remember, all those laser beams are CG too, so they are doing a lot of work to track where those are going.
I'm not gonna lie. First of all, the CG in the movie is pretty good. Actually, I don't think there was a moment there I was like, oh, that looks really really bad. Like not like the Flash movie. It was way better, way better than the Flash movie in terms of CG. I like the action. The action was pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of great action scenes.
I don't know if it was it's not like the most innovative thing I've ever seen, but it was like solid. You know, it wasn't like terrible. It certainly wasn't Venom turning into like a fish swimming down a river, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't Venom going, Eddie, we have to dance with Mrs. Chen.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Eddie.
It wasn't Klingar. What's the name of the Klingar monster sucking in all the soldiers and they're turning into, you know, a fountain of blood out the back of its head. It's not.
It wasn't
that
Venom
kind of
riding
good,
on
you
it.
know?
It wasn't Venom riding on a motorcycle, even though he could probably swing or in himself run faster.
Yeah, it wasn't the second motorcycle chase of the movie, so it's nowhere near that levels of good, but it was still all right. The dialogue is
Toxin dying immediately after doing his first action in the entire movie. The dance number was good, but it wasn't on the level of Toxin, you know, floating up and putting his arm on the window. It wasn't that good, you know. That one was a little bit better. That one was a lot better.
It was a lot better.
It wasn't Borderlands, the Atlas guy hitting that pose every time he wanted to shoot.
Yeah, there was none of that in the movie. I don't think there was anything too like any moments that really stood out to me during the movie other than Konnichiwhat, because it was just so. It was the slap in the face. You know, it was the slap in the face of realization that the dialogue and the jokes in this movie were just not going to land. They were going to float. They were going to, you know, we're going to leave them hanging.
That stood out.
We were going to leave them hanging.
When we saw that one actor who was in Venom as the bartender, and you got excited for a second.
That was probably the best. That was probably the best moments of my favorite moments of the movie. Is Dr. Eggman when he's like when he's being unemployed like me. When he's just unemployed in his
Dr.
crab bot,
wearing his Spider-Man cosplay, his Marvel Rivals Spider-Man player cosplay.
Yeah, he's in his crab bot and he's just watching like a telenovela. And the actor in it is the same dude as the bartender in Venom 3. Props to that guy. That guy's probably my new favorite actor.
So that's an actor who I think has really blown up from the show Ted Lasso on Apple TV. He plays a soccer player named Danny Rojas. And I recently started watching Ted Lasso's last season, season 3, just to get ready for the new season that's coming out. So to see him popping up everywhere again is like really fucking up my brain. I'm like, fuck yeah.
You know, he's the kind of guy I expected you to be like, oh, that guy's a really good actor. And then you point that guy out, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see it.
Actor.
I can see
he's
it.
He's a good actor, but
he's
like,
a funny
he's not
guy.
doing serious roles. He's just doing like goofy roles. His Danny Rojas role, he's just like constantly like saying his own name. And he's like, football is life, coach. Coach Lasso, you taught me the importance of football. Like, it's very goofy. You know?
I appreciate it.
It's very funny to see him play a twin of himself.
It is significantly better that he just plays goofy roles instead of playing like a really serious role, and he's like really good at it. And then he shows up in like, he shows up in Craven, and he goes 1, 2, 3. So yeah. That guy was in there. He has actually he's like 2 or 3 scenes in the movie. That the telenovela guy.
I just fucking telenovela. Agent Stone, a character you have no clue.
Nope, I don't know who he is. Everyone pretends like everyone knows who he is in the movie. They're like, "Oh, it's you," but it's the first time I've seen him, so I have no idea. I actually really like him. He's pretty cool.
You don't like him?
I know. I said I actually like him. Oh, okay. He's pretty cool.
He's been Dr. Eggman's faithful assistant since the first movie, where he showed up and introduced Eggman to the army of soldiers that were like, what are all these blackouts and electrical spikes from? Agent Stone was like, there from that. His very first gimmick in the first movie was that he made coffee.
Oh, so he's like the assistant in Zoolander, like Mugatu's assistant. Just
Yeah,
makes the coffee, and then and he goes, "This is terrible." Throws it back on him.
well, it's that, but Eggman really does appreciate him and appreciates that he knows his exact coffee order every time. And then the second movie, so at the end of the first movie, Eggman gets sent to Sonic's world and in Green Hills.
Okay, and then he starts running up the hills, and we actually know from game theory that Eggman's actually faster than Sonic. Yeah.
Yes, as we know from game theory. We Jesus. And in the second movie, he's like unemployed, or he's employed, but he's unemployed from Eggman, so he's very depressed about it. So he's working as a barista, and he's really good at doing coffee art. So he keeps drawing Jim Carrey's face into the fucking cups of coffee, and then people just come in and just like slam a spoon into it after he finishes, and like, thanks for the coffee, man. Just walk off and start drinking it.
Yeah, I figured out that's one of like coffee makers' big pet peeves, is whenever someone just annihilates like their little like art thing.
Drawing.
They're drawing.
Yeah, they don't take
coffee.
the second to appreciate it. I mean, It's really well done. It's impossible, the art he was doing.
It's impossible.
But it's impossible to do it.
That's like something I would do. I would, if someone handed me a coffee, I probably wouldn't even look at it. I'd just put the spoon in, swirl it around a little bit, and just drink.
You know what? It's impossible, but I'm not hearing people have the same kind of backlash they did with the Batman movie where Riddler drew the question mark in his coffee. Because I remember when that happened, coffee makers were like getting out their fucking, like, they were coming out of the woodwork. Like, actually, that's an impossible shape for him to create with just a spoon. And that, like, they were trying to show how they could get close to it.
Well, because a question mark, question mark is like that could happen. I feel like that could happen, but Jim Carrey's face in there at that 100% that would never happen. So
they're not saying it about Jim Carrey's face; they're saying it about the question mark. They're
exactly because the question mark could be something, and then people probably go up and be like, wow, can I get a question mark in my coffee? And they're like, actually, that's impossible because.
Yeah, so that's why.
Be like, hey, have you seen the dude, the really cool coffee artist dude who can make Jim Carrey's face in there? Why can't you do that?
That's almost as impressive as the guy that's naked and can play a guitar with his dick, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't search for those kind of things unlike you, James. So
I didn't search for it. It was just knowledge that was implanted in my brain.
Sure, buddy.
But yeah, that's why Knuckles is like, the goat milk man, or whatever.
Is that why they call him the goat milk guy?
Yeah, the goat milk guy, because he specifically uses goat milk in his coffees.
That's Eggman's go-to milk.
Favorite, yes.
It's goat milk.
It's a very big thing that they keep bringing up. But yeah, they have... The actor who plays Stone acknowledges it. I don't think Jim Carrey has yet. But the actor who plays Stone has said, yeah, he believes that they are in a gay relationship. Eggman and Stone.
Yeah, I completely believe it when it's just the actors saying it, and I don't hear from the director, and I don't hear from the other actors, and I don't hear from anyone except for him.
I don't know if they're gonna say anything about it.
It's like whenever you come up to me and you point out, I see like two dudes standing close to each other on the screen. You're like, hey, look, that's a gay couple right there. That's the same level of belief I do.
Who have I done that about?
You do it all the time. You don't pretend like you don't do it all the time.
Name it.
Anyway, so
win. No, you ain't getting away from this. You still man my argument. Still man my argument. They're just fucking debating you.
Yeah, man. I think you've been watching too many of those debate TikToks. You're starting to be like that, James. It's changing you. You went from oh, I don't like debates that much to every single time you bring up TikTok like, I was watching this debate.
I think election season got me watching it more because that's just what everybody was doing. Yeah. So it just kind of
brain rotted you.
More. It has.
It has rotted your brain, James.
It did it, but it's for the good of the people, JD.
It's for the good of the content. We need to
understand. This will be really funny.
Yeah. So Sonic 3. It was certainly a movie. I was gonna say the dialogue was not great.
It was perfect.
It was very like standard.
You're a colorful bunch.
It was like, because when you think, oh, this is a kids movie, you're thinking like bad dialogue. Yeah, that's what this movie was. Konnichiwhat. Yeah. You're a colorful bunch. Hey, how about we head back to the crab bot and get some burritos, tacos, or
Nope.
whatever they said.
Nope. Nachos with guacamole.
Yeah, nachos with guacamole, the guac.
Guachos.
Yeah, so that wasn't great. The plot was also not that great.
Konnichiwhat?
It was a lot of it was a lot of things.
It's pretty simple.
Well, first off, Shadow is in the movie. He breaks out. He's voiced by Keanu Reeves, famous comedian. He retired.
I still
sadly,
think it should have been voiced by the guy who plays Punisher.
I think it should have been voiced by the dude who voiced Tank Dempsey and Wolverine in Marvel Rivals.
Steve Blum.
Yeah, it was like this really gravelly voice. You're a colorful bunch.
I just think it would have been so funny if you heard John Barenthal's fucking voice come out of Shadow, just fucking like, what's that?
And he goes, "Yeah, I did it. I loved it."
You're going. Shadow talking about killing all the gun soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah, so Shadow like breaks out of containment because Eggman's grandfather breaks him out. And
Gerald Robotnik or something.
Shadow has a tragic backstory.
Maria.
Yeah, where Maria's in it and she dies. And so he's angry at like
Maria before the movie.
What?
Did you know of Maria before the movie?
Nope. I didn't. I don't know. I didn't know about Shadow. I didn't know about Shadow having a backstory before that. I thought he was just like evil version of Sonic, and that was it.
It depends on who's writing the story sometimes, but it's normally, I mean, he is kind of, but it's like he's morally ambiguous Sonic, which, by the way, I don't know why they keep saying they look alike. I think if anything, this movie very much so confirms they don't look alike.
Yeah, they keep saying they look really similar, and I mean, they kind of do, but the colors, their colors are basically just different.
That's where it ends. They don't have the same face. They don't have the same hair.
Their faces are kind of the same. He's just got like sharper eyes.
The faces are sort of the same, but
they have the same shoes.
So he looks.
They got the shoe. Their body shapes are the same.
They don't have the same shoes because Shadow has rocket shoes.
Well, he's got rockets on the bottom of his shoes, but they're like inlaced. They're not like
built. He has rocket boots. They're not like they're not
the overall shapes of them are about the same. Like if you silhouetted them out, you couldn't tell them apart.
Sure.
It's the same thing with you're doing the same thing with Transformers, James, where you're just like, it's completely different because this one is orange and this one is red.
Yeah. Who have I said that?
Sorry,
about?
but they're both. But they're both boxes.
Who have I said that about? Steelman, my argument.
So yeah, it's just that thing. You say, they look completely different. No, they kind of look the same.
No,
but the colors are different. So
yeah, exactly.
In the show, in the movie, they're just like, you're exactly the same, as if they're like the same color or whatever. But no, you could tell which one is which. Until they turn supersonic, and then it becomes hard to tell again because they're both just yellow.
I don't know. What do you mean? They don't look the same when they're supersonic either.
They kind of do.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, don't you? Yeah, me.
I don't understand how you could say that they're vastly different when they look pretty much the same.
They're two different shades of blonde. Shadow has red highlights. But yeah, so Maria, usually in every other form of media where they retell the story, Maria just gets shot with the normal gun, normally in 1911.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying not to use actual guns in the movies anymore because they started using laser guns in this one.
Yeah, they use like pulse rifles or something. I don't know what place the movie takes place in. If it's like 2077 or something, it's modern day. There's some high tech stuff happening in modern day.
Yeah.
They've got laser rifles. They've got a giant force field that vaporizes anything going through it. I mean, it's just there's a lot.
It's really funny the sudden advancement of technology.
Crab bots in the water.
In the flashback, they have laser guns.
Yeah, they had laser guns back then. It was like 1950 or something, and they had laser guns.
but they're like still in old military uniform, so it looks really goofy. It's like, oh yeah, you know,
like,
this is Vietnam.
you can imagine like
fucking
like the Vietnam regular soldier outfit, and they're carrying like the advanced plasma rifle from like Halo or something.
fucking Fallout. The literal plasma. It's literally the plasma rifle from Fallout, but colored yellow instead of green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so
pretty
funny
crazy.
though.
It's good.
I just, because it's so funny that they're like, no, we can't show a child being shot. So somebody shoots something next to her and it blows up.
Yeah, we can't show a child getting shot, but we can show a child getting exploded, like blowing up. So let's do that instead. So how Maria dies is the soldiers, they're like fire, and then they shoot at them and they miss and they hit like some explosive canisters on the side and it blows all of them up, and that's how she dies.
It's so funny still. Also, it's never gonna not be funny to me that Shadow is technically like 16.
Shadow pulls like a Captain America Wolverine, and he's got like an old man. He's like...
Yeah, he's got an old man voice, and he's like in cryo chambers, but he's technically 16, and that's canon in all media, and it's just so funny because it's like this guy has a smoker voice and like acts like an old dude, but he's like still a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The prosthetics for Jim Carrey as Gerald Robotnik was pretty good.
It was pretty good. If you didn't tell me that was Jim Carrey, I probably wouldn't have known actually, because he just looks completely different. You know, they probably put like a whole face mask on him. Like the nose looks different, his eyebrows look different.
I mean, even the hands have like completely like different looking.
He does a good different accent too. Like his voice does not sound like anything like Eggman's.
Yeah, like Eggman's is a bit higher and Gerald's is more lower.
Yeah, they sound like two different people. So hey, props to Jim Carrey for pulling that off.
Mm-hmm. Props to Jim Carrey for coming out of retirement to do Sonic 3.
Yeah, to do Sonic 3. Wow. It was really good. Well, let's just talk about the highlights from the movie. I remember two highlights from this movie off my memory. One. Maybe you'll be able to remember more. Mm-hmm. But number one for me is they need to sneak into like a secret government facility in London, which is actually just a building, but it's just a building. So what they do is they have this holographic like disguise outfit, so they can just that just makes them into like a different person. So Tom and his wife, forgot her name, is going to sneak into this building using these holographic disguises. And you know what disguises they choose? Well, first Tom's wife chooses like her cousin or something, sister, and so she turns into a sister, and then Tom decides to turn into his wife's like brother, her sister's husband. Yeah, something like that.
Which, by the way, you don't know this. The sister's husband isn't. I'm pretty sure he is an agent at Gun. So yeah. I don't know why they turned.
First of all, they're just completely destroying their identities. Like they just stole them. They're about to just wreak havoc using their identities. Secondly, Tom is white. And his wife's brother is black. So what happens is when he disguises himself, he turns into a black guy. I don't know if James didn't realize it immediately, because I immediately realized it, and I turned to James. I'm like, blackface. I just immediately said it to him right when that happened in the movie, and I saw your eyes like widen, and you're like, you're right. He is doing that.
Because it didn't occur to me, because I was like thinking, wow, this is.
You were thinking probably what other kids were thinking, were just like, oh, it's just a disguise, so whatever.
Well, I was thinking like, wow, is this the only way they could get these actors to be in the movie, because they were in the first two as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he turns into a black guy, and he just goes, oh, check out my guns, I'm so ripped and huge. He's not like super ripped or huge or anything, but
he kind of is, but like not like,
he might be a little buff
compared to James Marsden. Yes.
Yeah, so they be like 180 on their characters, and they just
the way they act, talk is just suddenly so completely different, and I was like, Oh wow, these guys.
I thought you were about to turn to me and be like, those guys are actually really good actors, JD. Those are really good actors.
I have opinions on one of them. I don't know the lady too well, but I know the guy from Criminal Minds, and I do think he was one of the weakest actors on the show.
Oh no.
And I think he's also really fucking weird outside of the show. I think he's a very weird guy.
He's just a little socially awkward, that's all.
No, it's unfortunately I wish he would be socially awkward because then it wouldn't have these interactions. But he really because his catchphrase on the show was baby girl. Because that's what he called his girlfriend who worked in the tech support for their FBI group at Criminal Minds.
Sure.
But then that just became his catchphrase outside of the show. So every time he would do a video for social media, he would talk to a fan or anything, he just keeps saying it. And it's like very
it makes sense, dude. He's lost in the sauce, dude. He went full Criminal Minds. And everyone knows you don't go full Criminal Mind, okay? Everyone knows.
And also, he decided to shave his beard into a square, and it doesn't look good.
You know what? I appreciate the sharpness.
I don't know if he has a mustache, but I do know that from the corners of his mouth down, he has 2 straight lines that cut the beard.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks really weird to me.
I think it looks sharp. It looks fresh.
It just makes him look like a nutcracker.
Yeah, so in the movie, they like Tom just black faces and he goes into the building and they sneak in, they do all their stuff. That's the one highlight that I remember from the movie. The second one was the grandpa's death, Grandpa Robotnik's death.
This is what you're gonna say.
So near the end of the movie, they're in like a space station. First off, the space station, I know it's based off the game, but I just remember the Snap Cube like dub of it where he goes like, I'm gonna piss on the earth. I have an announcement to make. Sonic, fucking my wife. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna piss on the earth, but not even that. I'm gonna aim higher. I'm gonna piss on the moon. So I found out that apparently they are in that space station, like the egg spaceship thing that they use to fire the laser.
I learned the voice actor for Eggman, the actual voice actor, doesn't like it when people ask him to say that quote.
Doesn't like it to say, I'm gonna piss on the moon?
Yeah. He will say the I have an announcement to make thing, but he won't say anything else and really doesn't like it when people ask him to quote Snap Cube. Which that's pretty funny. Hilarious.
It's funny that he's just he's like, I take my role as Eggman very seriously. Okay, this is a serious character.
Well, no, I think it's in his mind. He's like, well, this is a kid's thing, so I don't want to like say this and have kids actually hear Eggman say it.
Yeah, honestly, kids hearing "I'm gonna piss on the moon" is probably one of the least egregious things they will ever hear.
I mean, kids watch Blippi, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, kids watch like Aiden Ross and stuff like that, so they do. I don't know what to tell you. Because there is way worse stuff on there. So pissing on the moon, that's funny. Anyway, so Grandpa
burning like you're hitting a fucking bug zapper.
So Grandpa Robotnik is fighting normal Robotnik, and then a regular Robotnik, Dr. Eggman, he comes up, he's got the little like charged bird strand from Sonic.
Yeah.
That he has, and he zaps the grandpa on his ass, and so he gets zapped and he goes flying up into the ceiling, and there's like an arc reactor in the ceiling like spinning around.
That Shadow has made by like running in circles, and it was established earlier he that just, like, this was the same thing that killed
he just flies up and into the reactor, and he zaps into nothingness, like he poofs into like a cloud of smoke, and that's how he dies. And it just comes out of nowhere.
It's like shorter than a vine. It's like 3 seconds long.
His death was like 3 seconds long. Yeah, he goes zap, and then that was it. That was the whole scene. They move on.
And it's the movie even knows it because they acknowledge how quick it is with it.
Yeah, it goes
bug zapper, zip. And he's evaporated. There's nothing left. It's just gone.
A whole human just poof into the air.
It's the fucking Rick and Morty thing of what was that? Death. What kind? The instant kind. There was no noise. Yeah, why wouldn't there be? Just dead. He just dies. And it's like the movie moves on.
Yeah, it just moves on. Straight up. They just go straight into like deflecting laser or whatever. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to mention for that. I don't want to run through the whole movie again. So
no, let's do it.
Let's just give our thoughts about it. James, what would you give the movie out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay. I'd give it probably a 3 out of 10. Is probably what I would give it.
I think that's crazy.
It's just not my kind of movie. I don't know.
That's just crazy though.
I think I definitely cringed during the movie more than I laughed or felt cool or felt normal during the movie. So it's gonna have to get a lower score for me. It's just not my kind of movie.
That, I'm bumping it up to 9 out of 10 just for
it might be because I didn't watch the first two and I also didn't know what was going on for all of it. So that dropped the score a little bit more on my end too. I'm also not a Sonic guy, you know. Didn't grow up playing it.
Either, but at least I knew.
I don't know any of the lore.
I'm not a poser like you.
I don't know any of the lore, so I'm walking into it blind, and yeah, that's just what it's gonna. I have to give it 3 out of 10.
Well, retroactively, I'm bumping up to a 9 out of 10 just because Metal Sonic shows up at the end, and then Amy hits Metal Sonic with her hammer, and she's like,
yeah, smashes the Metal Sonic.
And take this.
Amy shows up and she goes, armed and dangerous. Again.
Also, the existence of Metal Sonic insinuates that Eggman did survive. Because
Metal Sonic's made by Eggman?
Yeah, Metal Sonic is made by Eggman to counter Sonic.
What if the grandpa robotic is the one that lived, and he's the one that made Metal Sonic?
Oh, and you think he was transported?
Yeah, it's because there's no way he like that kind of. If you get launched into an arc reactor, that's not the kind of death. That's not how you would die from it. You wouldn't get zapped into nothing. Like he was actually teleported away to somewhere. You know.
I wouldn't mind that, but here's the thing. Normally in lore, robotic.
Is Grandpa Robotic a thing in the lore?
Yeah, he dies very early on, almost all the time.
Okay.
He is a dead old man who should not be alive.
He is the character that is meant to die.
Yeah, him and Maria.
He's die. Like Maria.
They just don't come back.
Yeah.
Like many other times when a character in Sonic kind of dies, they maybe can get resurrected or something happens.
Like Gwen Stacy, you know.
These are two characters that just die. But I don't know if they'll bring him back, but I can definitely see this being a Robotnik from another world. Maybe, or it's a Robotnik. It's the same Robotnik, but he was like transported somewhere again.
Yeah.
Or
spoilers, if you guys didn't know, Dr. Eggman dies.
Yeah,
at the end of the movie.
He kinda,
I think Sonic. I think Shadow also is implied to die.
Yeah, which I don't believe.
Because he stays in the space station, and the space station explodes. And Shadow's pushing it away
because he's trying to like. What is it? He's trying to like collect all the energy or something.
He was like aiming. He's aiming the laser away from the Earth.
Yeah, he's aiming the laser away from Earth while Shadow's also.
And then Shadow is pushing it away from Earth because it's about to explode. So then it explodes, and so we think they're both dead.
And then Knuckles says, "Flames of disaster."
Yeah, and then Sonic goes, "It's gonna get sticky."
And then Sonic says, "You're too dead."
Yeah, and then Sonic says, "Judge, jury,
execution."
Anyway, so yeah, that was the movie.
What is Iron Man's again?
Maximum pulse.
And then Tails says maximum pulse. We gotta use the Tails fucking forehead meme. Just like the fucking Black Adam one and Flash one. I can't believe there's multiple times this keeps happening in movies, but they keep doing like this zoom in forehead thing where they like super lock in on a character's forehead.
Oh yeah, they did do that for Tails. I forgot about that. And there's a shot of Tails just like flying really fast, and it does like the camera zoom in on the face with like a wide scope lens. So
it's so funny.
It's the same thing with Black Adam. It was really good. That was funny.
He's talking about the movie. It was really good. He's not talking about the meme.
I was talking about the moments. I was talking about certain moments in the movie. But honestly, Guac Tua, Konnichiwhat, those things just
they gotta not say guac to it.
They cannot.
Do not say
they just cannot get higher than a 5. It just can't be.
That's
if you put a joke like Konnichiwha what in there, it's just it can't get higher. It can't.
Well, JD, have you considered the fact that this is a fucking kids movie?
I do, but I'm not gonna go with that excuse that it's a kids movie, therefore it can be bad.
Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying maybe the jokes aren't made for you for that reason.
Are they made for anyone? Because no one was laughing at that, James. No one was laughing. Not even the kids.
People were.
The kids were not laughing at that joke.
That was a very lively.
You know who was laughing along with you during the movie? You know who? The 40-year-old dad that was behind us, sitting up in that row.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
That was the same guy.
You keep mentioning the 40-year-old dad. I never heard a 40-year-old dad once. I heard a kid.
It's because you were busy laughing at the jokes in the movie, and I hear him in the back also laughing at the movie. And his kids are just like talking kind of quietly, but like they do that whisper talk thing that kids do that they're still really loud.
Well, yeah,
and they go, what do they mean, Dad? And the dad's just like cackling, like, yeah, he does that kind of laugh. He goes,
Tim Allen's up there. But yeah, JD, maybe there's a reason I'm laughing along with that 42-year-old dad.
Maybe there is a reason.
Because I'm 24,
and the reason is that there is a new DC comic out there that is taking the world by storm.
Why do we have to talk about it? I don't.
Because it's funny, and I just heard about it yesterday, and I was like, James is gonna love this because he's a DC guy, he's a comic guy, he draws stuff. It's time to finally put James in the spotlight and say, you know what? Maybe artists aren't very good people. maybe artists aren't very good people. Maybe they're weird. Maybe they're
Maybe they shouldn't be allowed to create whatever they want.
Yeah, maybe they should be allowed to draw.
Maybe we should have some kind of.
There's a new DC comic. Control. Is it official, James? Is it an official comic?
It is.
It's not an April Fool's joke, is it, James?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it'll come out in April.
It doesn't come out in April, James.
Oh no!
It doesn't. It comes out the month before April. So
why?
Harley Quinn. It's a Harley Quinn fart comic.
Scratch and sniff.
It's a comic about Harley Quinn farting.
It's a scratch and sniff comic, JD.
Has that been confirmed? I heard that was just a rumor.
That is confirmed.
That is scratch and sniff. James, we know what the next crapshoot special has to be now.
No.
You don't want to see what Harley Quinn's farts smell like?
No, I don't.
They probably just sprayed on some like what was it, the fart can thing? And then put a sticker over it, and that's probably it.
I don't want to live in a world where this exists.
Yeah, so there's just going to be a comic about Harley Quinn farting. Is that it? Is that the whole I didn't hear anything further past it's just about her farting.
That's it, and I don't want to know what else they're doing.
I don't know how that got greenlit.
I don't know whose idea this was.
Oh, it was.
Stop it.
It was mine. I submitted a letter about 4 years ago, and I was like, you know what'd be really funny? If you guys did a farting comic about Harley Quinn, and they replied to me saying that was stupid and they would never do it, but look at us now. Hey, look at us.
This isn't a look at us now.
Hey, look at us.
This isn't a look at us now.
Who would have thought, huh? Not me.
No one.
Who would have thought? Anyway, I'm excited to see when that comic comes out.
Are you?
No, because I'll probably forget about it. And then when it does come out, and I might hear about it again when it comes out, then I'll remember. But, past today, I don't know if I'll be able to remember it. You know what I will remember though? The honey scam of 2024.
Yeah.
So apparently, Honey just got exposed. And So if you don't know what Honey is, it's a very
exposure.
big, like a browser extension that a lot of people use. It's I think it's owned by PayPal. And what it does is it just finds coupons online whenever you buy something online. It finds coupons and applies it to your item at checkout, and that's it. That's what it does. And it's apparently been doing some shady things behind everyone's backs. So first thing that it does is any YouTuber who's been sponsored by Honey and uses like the affiliate links to buy anything off of websites, Honey apparently overwrites that affiliate link and just makes it seem like it was Honey that was the one that, you know, advertised to these consumers that bought the item. So instead of content creators getting like a cut, a little like a cut of the sale, it's Honey that gets that cut instead. So that was pretty interesting. The way it does it is, I think Honey will pop up in like a little window in your browser whenever you're at checkout, and you'll click on it, say like find coupon or whatever. You'll click on it, and when you click on it, it overwrites all the links and stuff and makes it seem like Honey was the one who drove this purchase. And then it'll usually come back with like no coupon found or something. I don't use it, so I don't know actually how it works. It'll usually won't find a coupon, and then when you buy the thing, it'll register as Honey being the one that promoted it, so they get a little cut from that purchase. Next, it doesn't actually like find you coupons correctly, because apparently it does this thing where like I think certain websites can partner with Honey and make it so that certain coupons won't be like shown to people when they buy stuff off the website. So if there's like a 30% off discount coupon somewhere that works on the website, and you click on the find coupon for Honey, it just like will just ignore it. It'll ignore all the coupons that the website doesn't want you to see. So it doesn't really even work with the coupons. So that's the scam like number 2. It's pretty messed up.
It's more.
It's pretty messed up.
Is there more?
Is there more after that? Let me see. I don't think so. Other than the whole affiliate link and the coupon thing. Well, actually, the more thing is that a lot of other browser extensions that are like Honey do exactly the same thing. They do what Honey does. So yeah, just thought I should put it out there. If you use a browser extension to help you find coupons, maybe it's just better to find it manually.
Maybe
just how it goes. It's just how it goes. I usually don't buy a lot of things from online, so that's why I don't have any of the browser extensions for it.
I buy most things online.
So yeah.
I've been using Honey my whole life.
There was another thing. It was I think like Linus Tech Tips or something used to be partnered with Honey, and then they found out about this thing about Honey like a couple years ago, that they like steal the affiliate links and they don't use the right coupons. So they stopped partnering with Honey, but they also kept like a hush on it. They didn't tell anyone that Honey was doing it. But then they partnered with another coupon like browser extension thing that was called, I don't remember the other name, but it was like Honey. They partnered with another browser extension coupon thing, and that one does the exact same thing that Honey does. So now everyone's scratching their heads like, what are you talking about? You stop your sponsorship with Honey because of this thing, and then you partner with another thing that does the same thing.
Not giving them enough.
Maybe that's probably it. They probably just weren't. They probably weren't.
Linus Tech Tips. You guys didn't need any more controversies.
Linus Tech Tips. My God, man. That's not the Linus Tech Tips song. But yeah, James, so keep an eye out for scams, Did you know that Markiplier predicted this?
I did. I saw the clip.
So like back in like 2019 or like 2020, so like sometime like that, it was a while ago. Markiplier turned down a honey like sponsorship because he didn't know how they made money. So and then he was like, "Oh, what will come out like during like the great honey scam of 2023?" He was really close. It was really close.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost spot on.
It was almost spot on. Yeah. So yeah, that was another funny thing that I learned about the honey scam. But yeah, that happened. It was interesting. Mm-hmm. Anything else to share, James?
What
was that?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, I'm a year older.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I said happy birthday during the other. I said happy birthday and Merry Christmas when I got you that double gift.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, I'll just say it again.
No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm. Again. There was one last thing I wanted to mention. Yeah. YouTube has been cracking down on ad blockers recently. Pretty hard. I don't know if I don't remember if we talked about that.
Say it anyways.
Okay. I mean, if we did talk about it, there is an update to it. So they're cracking down on ad blockers pretty hard. And the way they did it was with that like leaked screenshot of YouTube having like the pop-up saying like, we don't allow ad blockers on the site. And you have to click like agree, turn off ad blocker or something. So that I did get that, like that happened. And that was like a week or two ago. And it was strange because it all happened in like the span of like a day or two, where like first off, if you had an ad blocker, it just didn't work. So like if you played a YouTube video, it would like be a black screen and the video just wouldn't play. So I had that problem for like a couple hours, and then it evolved into like it would play the ad for the video, but then the video itself wouldn't play if you had an ad blocker on. And then a couple hours later, the video would work and the ad blocker or the ads would play and the video would play, but then the disclaimer would show up saying like turn off your ad blocker. And then so I had that, and then it evolved into the ads were blocked but the video would play, and then I would get the disclaimer, but the disclaimer would show up for like 3 seconds. You can click OK and you wouldn't have to watch any ads and you could just watch the video. And then it evolved again where the disclaimer would say like after like this amount of videos, if the video player would just be blocked and you can't watch it. And I was like, okay, so let's see where this goes. So I watched, it was like after 3 videos. So I watched 3 other videos, and then it didn't work. Like the video would still play and the disclaimer would show up. And so that didn't work. But then like a little bit later, it did block my video player. So I couldn't watch any videos when my ad blocker up. And so then I turned it off to watch some videos, and then I turned it back on a little bit later, and now it just works again. There's no disclaimer, there's no ads. It just ever evolving. Works. It just works. 16 times the detail. I don't know if that was your experience with it, James. Have you had any trouble with it, or?
I actually haven't had any problems. That's why I'm like, oh, okay, but I don't believe so.
Yeah, that was for me. Like all the ad blocker stuff that they were doing, it worked. Well, it didn't really work because I didn't turn off my ad blocker for like the majority of it.
Oh wait, I know why. I don't have ad blocker.
Yeah, you just watch the ads, don't you?
Yeah, I just hit it raw.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is about ads. They annoy me so much. I cannot watch them. So, guys, I don't mind if you if you have ad blocker on while you're watching the crapshoot.
Guys,
it might take it. I'll take the revenue hit for it. Okay.
We're already not making any money.
I'll take the revenue hit for it. So, don't worry about it. But yeah, That was the war. I mean, so far it's been smooth sailing for a while now, like a week. I haven't heard a peep out of the ads anymore. I don't know if it's just gonna be like a cold war between YouTube and ad blockers. You know what's funny? Most of the ads that I saw while the ad blocking thing was happening were about ad blockers. So all the ads were like, "Are you tired of seeing ads? Try this ad blocker." Yeah, that was every single ad. None of the ads were like about anything else. It was just all about ad blockers. Crazy.
Don't you want an ad blocker to block these ads? Well, here's an ad blocker to block
Are
that.
you tired of seeing so many ads? Well, guess what? Just use this ad blocker. It works on Twitch. It works on YouTube. I didn't install any of it. I just use like the built-in ad blocker that my browser has. It just has a default turned on, so I'm cool with it. And it works now, so
Hey, better late than never.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just about reaching the end, James. You still haven't remembered what you wanted to say, or not gonna say
Squid
anything?
Game. I watched Squid Game.
Right, Squid Game season 2. Did the whole
watched
thing
Squid
release, or
Game.
is it like an episodic thing?
As far as I'm aware, this is the whole thing because I think they're releasing one more season and it's going to be the last season.
Season 3 is the last season?
Yeah,
No.
I know you're so devastated.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I've already learned that apparently other people did not enjoy it so far.
Why?
Because the way they start episode 1, you don't go to the games right away. You get a lot of
No.
like, well, maybe I don't know if people were unaware, but there was a 2-year time gap between when everything came out.
Yeah, but
So
it's boring, James. What? You watch a show called Squid Games just to not watch the Squid Games?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We watch the Squid Games. We get to the Squid Games
Yeah, you get to it later, but I want it
in
now.
episode 2.
I want it now.
Yeah,
Wait, you're telling me
okay.
the whole first? You telling me the whole first episode is no Squid Games?
The whole first episode is no Squid Games. You learn what Gion was doing the entire time. He was like, he was trying to find it, and so the explanation is the last 2 years, since we stopped watching the show,
Right.
and in the show's time frame, the last 2 years they've spent trying to find the guy that's recruiting people again.
But I thought in season 1 they like the mastermind behind it all was like gone. They got him.
Nope. Now the front man's taken over and has become the mastermind.
The front man, like the guy who finds people, or
No, that's the recruiter. The front man's the guy in all black.
oh, I see. They just took it over.
Yeah, he's taking main control, and from there as well, he now has an assistant called the first officer or something.
So he's got a front man now.
Yeah, the front man has a front man, and the front man's front man, the first officer, where is basically like all the other guards in the red jumpsuits, but he's wearing a black jumpsuit with a red zipper. So he looks very different,
Okay.
as you can tell.
Right.
But I don't know. I like it. I get a lot of people didn't, but I dug it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, well, you like a lot of things, James.
I wish it was longer though. I will agree.
It's short?
It was a shorter season. It's only 7 episodes.
Oh.
And they do end on a cliffhanger, I'll be honest.
It ends on a cliffhanger.
It does.
Hits us with the Fast and Furious 10.
Yeah, but I think that's because they've already got most of the 3rd season filmed, and they're going to be putting out like almost right away.
Yeah, almost right away.
It seems like it. It really does seem like it. Or maybe they'll
You're like,
be
yeah, it
releasing
seems
more.
like it. And then 2027 rolls around. It's like, all right, it's going to be ready in 3 more years.
Well, I say they have the 3rd season already filmed because it looks like they put a clip at the end of the 2nd season of a new game involving the characters of season 2.
The Octopus
and
games.
They're like, yeah, the Octopus games, the Octopus challenge, and I don't know. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm not entirely too sure.
Sure.
When it's too sure. Shumshor Shushashwa.
That's really messed up, James.
I know.
I'm here, you know.
Yeah. Do it. I'm sorry.
No, you're
yeah.
not.
I thought it was good. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. Like overall, it was great.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about season 2 yet, so I guess it's just a little bit less. It's lost its sauce, you know.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
Was it as good as season 1, James, or is it not as good because your favorite character is not in there?
No, he's been reborn.
He reborn to another character.
He was reborn into a new character.
Yeah, who's this new character?
You'll see when we watch it.
Are we gonna watch it?
I'd like us to.
Well,
to
okay.
Redeem the forgotten commentary track.
Yeah, we'll watch it when you release the first one. Then, how about that?
The unusable one? No.
Yes, during the eras of handheld, staticky
the
microphone.
Of...
The era of.
But yeah, well, I'd like us to watch it, but if you can't, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm down for it whenever. I will say. Oh yeah, go ahead.
There's a surprisingly well done trans character.
Trains, like Trainwreck's character.
I'll kill you. You heard what I said.
You said Train's character.
I said trans.
Oh, no, you said Trains.
Trans.
The way you said it, you did say Trains.
I did not say trains.
I swear, I swore you said that.
Hey JD, listen to me say the words.
Okay.
Trans, trains.
Yeah. You said the latter one before.
I did not. You're just illiterate.
All right, James. Well, I mean, it is recorded.
It is.
We'll just have to see.
Viewers, put it in the comments.
Yeah, right. Put it in the comments.
Say yes. If you heard me say trans.
Are you like me and you heard James said trains?
You didn't.
If you enjoyed, you should subscribe, hit that bell notification icon because that's the only way you'll be notified for when these episodes come out, and they come out every Sunday. That's when these episodes come out, Sunday. If you like James, all his links are in the description. You can check him out there. He streams a lot. And that'll be it for me. James, bring us out.
So, they don't have a new,